Hi, Lou here to talk about maps. Wargame designers need maps. Most designers will want to get these maps into digital form in some way. When I designed Britannia and submitted in the early 1980s, my map was hand-drawn, but that's not what happens most of the time nowadays. I use CorelDRAW, other people may use Adobe Illustrator or even Photoshop or the free Inkscape to do their maps, but you've got to have something to start with. Historical atlases are an obvious place to start. There are lots of them in most libraries. The only problem is, how do you get from the book to a digitized version? Well, sometimes libraries have maps that are flat, but often not. In any case, modern digital cameras can be used as the equivalent of photocopiers, if you don't have a big enough photocopier, to turn these maps into something that you can further digitize. There are lots and lots of maps online. And of course you can just search for historical maps or for maps or for more specific maps. But there are lots of old historical atlases that have gone out of copyright, and so all the maps are there in a already digitized form. And here are some sites. Now you might say, which historical atlases should you use? Well, I recommend anything by John Harwood or Colin McEvedy for starters. And is typical in most atlases, theirs tend to alternate maps with text. So not only do you have the historical maps, you have text that explains fairly well what's going on. At strategic level, especially grand strategic level, a good historical atlas can be just about all you need. You can check out little details of other things, but it's mostly there. There are other places where you can get maps. Wikipedia has lots of useful maps. Search for historical maps on YouTube and you'll find many sort of time-lapse videos of maps of historical events, which are quite interesting. But, as with any kind of research, don't use map finding as an excuse not to design the game. Thanks for listening.